What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of The Three View. Today, we are joined by Rochester Grizzlies head coach Marty Raymond. First of all, welcome to the NA3HL.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So we'll just jump right on into things. So you were newly named the head coach of the Grizzlies program. What originally drew you to this opportunity to coach in the NA3?
Well, I think I've been in Minnesota for 4 years. I've been kind of learning about high school hockey, and then I watched the NHL and the NHL three, and when Tyler Veen was promoted to Augsburg, accepted a job. I talked to a few people, and then it kind of came about, and I said, yeah, I would be interested since I'm not too far, and I know a few of the coaches there, and so it was kind of a good fit, and I think that's kind of went kind of fairly easily.
And when we look at your coaching experience, you have a wealth of knowledge, including time in the ECHL and in Minnesota high school hockey. How are you going to use those experiences to shape your coaching philosophy in the NA3HL?
Well, I guess the longer you coach, maybe the longer you try to figure out that you don't know everything. So you've learned along the way. And I think that coming back to Minnesota to the high school level was a really, really helpful working with that age group and kind of see what works. And obviously, even if you get older, you kind of have to relate to some way to that age group and what works and what doesn't work. And I thought that this was maybe a good follow through to doing high school hockey to work at this level. There's a lot of young guys, a lot of guys that want to get to the next level, and they're working hard at it. And it's a passion for them. So I like that part of that aspect of the coaching job, and so that kind of what drew me to the NHL three.
And when we look at your coaching experience in Minnesota, how are you going to use your connections to the local market to help build this team and talk about, playing in the hockey hotbed that is Minnesota?
Well, Minnesota's great. There's many sections. Obviously, everybody's different, but really a lot of respect for the high school hockey level, the coaches that are there, the players. It's really high level hockey. You can see the tournament in March. It's unbelievable. I think it's seen across the world. And as far as us for Winona, I think working in the southern part of Minnesota, really working on the skill aspect and trying to develop more coaches, and we're getting more and more players that are able to play at the next level, and it's going to get better. I think we have more than 215 kids at the youth hockey level. It's getting better and better. We just wanted more. If we could have more ice, even better. But it's a big step, and I think that it's just kind of a big challenge that's coming through, and will help to bring more kids from Albert Lee and these areas. Minnesota, Austin's also got a lot of great kids. So I think we're Rochester's still good, Mankato. So that's Section 9 is improving a lot.
And when we look at the Grizzlies program, they've always been a playoff contender and they won the Fraser Cup in 2022. How do you plan on putting your own spin on this program, but also continuing the winning tradition?
Well, yeah, like you said, there are it's a winning culture. So, there'll be some changes, but I mean, they've done a lot of good things. So the prior coaches won, and Tyler Veen did a good job there. So just some changes that are part of who I am, and I think players will see that it's still going to continue in the same pattern. We want to be a winning culture. We're going to probably work on maybe development. Get to work on skills and hockey IQ, and really work on the mental part of the game, which is sometimes lacking at this level. A lot of guys get down and they want to get to the next level, and it takes a lot of adversity. You're gonna have to get to meet adversity before you succeed, and we're gonna push on that and say it's not the end of the world. You're here to go to the next level. So really pushing the mental part. It's not always going to be easy, but there's a will, there's a way, and if you want to succeed, you can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the season being just a few weeks away, how has the transition process been? And how has the staff that's already in Rochester been able to help you kind of get acclimated to the culture that they have established?
Well, they've been phenomenal because without them, it would have been a tough go. Even Coach Keane was great and was really helpful in transitioning as he's going to Augsburg, and Bob Montrose and Brandon. They've been great. So, from even a trainer, everybody was so helpful and get to know the kids. And, obviously I don't know everyone yet, but I get to meet everybody, including the billet coordinators. They're all great people. So it's not going to be that difficult because I got great people with me.
And have you had a chance to kind of look at last year's roster and assess where the team was at? And are there any players that kind of stuck out to you that will be returning for this upcoming season?
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen the roster. I know a lot of good guys. I don't want to start naming names and forgetting some guys,
Mhm.
but I know that we have some. I know one young man that's Mason Decker. He's got 30 goals. He's a returner, and we have many of them coming back. But we also have a lot of young guys coming in, and we have some guys moving on. So it's kind of the nature of this level. And it's exciting. I'm looking forward to meet all these guys. Again, to watch the training camp from Canada this weekend. I missed that part, but I watched everything on Live Bar. Now I talked to the coaches, and it was exciting. It was 6 teams, and we had probably one of the best All-Star game in over the last 5, 6 years. It was a 3-2 overtime, so we can't ask for any more pace, any more competitiveness. So it was great. So yeah, it's exciting.
And what impressed you most from those players that you saw at camp?
Well, I think the pace in which they played, it's always impressive. Sometimes you go to these camps and, guys are, they're doing most personal stuff and mostly skills. And now they played as a team. They had a really good pace. So I like the enthusiasm that they had and the level of play that they showed throughout the camp. So it was really impressive.
And you touched on it a few times. The NA3 is meant as a development tool for players to get to the next level. What are some things that you're really going to work on this season with this group to help the players achieve the goals of playing at the next level?
Well, I think everybody, I mean, at this level, they understand the game, but just the details. So maybe really, when we talked about this use maybe too much hockey IQ, but understanding the game, the details, what to do without the puck, or when you have the puck, what needs to be done. Just the simple details of the game, offensively, defensively. Express yourself offensively and maybe commit to defense. These are the things we're going to push for our guys to be better. They are good, but we can always get better. And if you get better, that's when you get to the next level. So I think that understanding, it's not that we want to be tough on them, it's we want to make sure that they are developing and going to the Austin Bruins and then even further down the line to maybe D1 or D3 college.
And how excited are you to have that relationship with the Austin Bruins in the NAHL as a, player pathway to move up?
Well, Steve Howard is the coach, and he's got a great staff there, and they've been great. It's one of the teams in the NAHL that's bringing guys up and down from the minors, from the NHL, give the kids a chance to play at this level. Some teams don't do as well, so I'm very fortunate to have people who do that, and they are very honest, very genuine, and you can't have any better guys than that to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we look forward to the future of this program, what are some of the short-term and long-term goals that you're hoping to execute in year one of this program?
Well, short-term goals would be our training camp, have some pace, and really guys on the same page from day one. It'll be a change. Obviously, there's a new guy in charge, so they'll have to get used to that. But we're going to go quickly, and making sure that our identity is known and our motive from the get-go. So within the first week, that's going to be the most important thing. And as we progress, correct things. So by the time we get to December, well, we're ready to go. All at just 100%.
And then as we look forward, we're just a few weeks away. Is there any date you have circled on your calendar that you're especially excited for in year one?
You know what? I've looked at the calendar. I don't want to start picking a team that's more exciting than the other. So I'm going to say I'm excited for every game. Obviously, it's always exciting the opening weekend. I believe it's the 14th or 15th of September. So that's going to be great. So our first game at home and our first game on the road and see how guys are. So the preseason game is always a tune-up. So I'm not saying it's not important, but it's not the same as when we start regular season and see how our guys are reacting and see how much fun it's going to be.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for jumping on this call and good luck in year one in Rochester.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.